I grew up in the Valley of Villains since I was little. My eldest uncle was once the top dog of Talankiao prison. My second uncle once fought off 1,000 men alone with just a knife. My old man was even the underground king of the entire Jingzhou. They taught me since I was young that fists are louder than reason. The year I turned 18, I had already beaten everyone in the village and had no match. On the day of my coming-of-age ceremony, I was just about to ask my second uncle's son for a fight, when my old man yelled at me to come home, saying my biological uncle and aunt had come. They saw I looked like a hooligan, and put on an act of being deeply grieved. They held my hand and insisted on taking me back to the rich family for a good life. I believed them. Only after I arrived at the rich family did I realize they only wanted me all along, to be their scapegoat. Too bad I'm not a lamb, I'm a hungry wolf. The moment I stepped into the house, I heard coming from the living room the voice of a teenage boy talking. I stopped in my tracks and looked at my so-called biological uncle, Big Fool Shu. Don't tell me there's a fake young master at home, too. A flicker of embarrassment flashed across Big Fool Shu's face. When you went missing back then, your parents couldn't accept it, so they adopted Ayi, but they died in a car accident a few years later. We had no choice, so we took over your family's business and helped take care of Ayi. So he's not some fake young master. He's also your parents' son. He accompanied your parents for several years in your place. You should thank him. Aunt Jin Fengyi, who had been holding the wronged fake young master, walked up to me. This is your little brother, Ayi. Ayi was supposed to be your name originally, but your brother has been called this name for so many years. It's inconvenient to change it back and forth. You will be called Shu Yi from now on. Why do I have to change my name? I already have a name. You can call me Daddy Lin. Big Fool Shu's smile froze immediately. What kind of ugly name is that? We have already registered your household registration. Your name is Shu Yi. I was just about to say something. Shu Yi had already walked up to me looking wronged. Brother, are you still angry that I took your name? I'm sorry, brother. I didn't do it on purpose. If you really don't like the name Shu Yi, I can also give the name back to you. So you mean you give the name back to me? But you are not going to give this family back to me. You brought me back, and you are not planning to send him away. After hearing what I said, Qin Fengyi looked at me with a hint of disgust in her eyes. You just got home today, and you are so eager to kick Ayi out of the house. Didn't your uncle just tell you? If it weren't for Ayi, your parents would never have made it through those years. You don't thank me properly, and you are being so aggressive. You are so disappointing. Big Fool Shu winked at Qin Fengyi, signaling her to stop talking. I pretended not to see their interaction, walked into the living room and started looking around the house. Fine, as long as he doesn't mess with me. I can also give him a bite to eat. Then I ignored the few people anymore and went straight upstairs to rest. When I woke up again, it was already late at night. I was extremely thirsty. I was just about to go downstairs to get some water when I heard from the study on the second floor the conversation between Big Fool Shu and his wife. Did you handle it properly? No mistakes, right? Qin Fengyi's voice was full of disdain. What mistakes could there be? No matter how sharp-tongued he is, he's just an 18-year-old kid. He can't notice anything wrong at all. Relax, I have already created the medical record under his name. The one who abandoned a girl and made her have an abortion is Daddy Lin. It will never affect our Shu Yi's reputation. That's good. The only value of bringing him home is to take the blame for Shu Yi. And if that thing really gets discovered, just send this country bumpkin to prison. Ayi was raised carefully by us. I will never allow him to get hurt even a little. I curled the corner of my mouth, turned around and went downstairs towards the dining room. 'Cause I'm just an 18-year-old kid, right? So they looked down on me. Things seemed to be getting interesting. When I went downstairs early the next morning, there were two figures sitting on the sofa, Shu Yi and a cute and pretty-looking girl. When I walked downstairs, I also heard them discussing this year's college entrance exam. Ayi, which university are you planning to apply for? Are you sure your score this year can get you into a good university? But it's okay if you can't get into a good university. My dad said he can send us both to study abroad, Is there any country you want to go to? What do you think of going to a foreign country? Shui had a big happy grin on his face. We'll go abroad together. What would people say if they find out? I did pretty well on the exam. 500 points should be a sure thing. Hearing that, I was drinking milk and couldn't hold back a laugh, even though I just got back yesterday. The nanny at home told me, over the past 18 years, that idiot Shu and Qin Fengyi have put loads of effort into raising this fake young master. be it piano, horse riding, or golf. And even tutors for school subjects. They always hired the best and most expensive teachers. Under these circumstances, is 500 points really something to brag about? Hearing me laugh, the young girl on the sofa stood up annoyed. You're Ayi's older brother, right? Do you even know what respect means? Ayi and I are talking about our private business. What's the point of laughing at us? I put down my milk glass and glanced at the furious girl in front of me. Wow, you're such an expert on respect. Did your parents never teach you that before asking who someone is? You have to introduce yourself first. Shuyi stood up and tugged gently on the girl's sleeve. Ruyan, stop talking. Bro definitely didn't mean it that way. Don't overthink it. Bro, this is Liu Ruyan. Uncle Liu is really close with our family. Ruyan and I grew up together. It clicked for me right away. Aren't these two just the trashy couple people talk about in books? Bro, Mom and Dad told me. You also took the Gaokao this year. Did you estimate your score yet? How many points do you think you got? But the education quality out in the countryside is garbage anyway. It's no big deal if your score is bad. You can just retake the exam next year, it's no hassle. 700 points should be no problem for me. Wonder if I can even get the top Gaokao score. As soon as I finished speaking, Shuyi forced a smile. Bro, you're such a jokester. Liu Ruyan just snickered out loud. Ha ha ha, do you even hear yourself? 700 points? What kind of daydream is that? Shin Fengyi also came downstairs at this moment. I knew all those years in the countryside turned you bad. You can't open your mouth without lying. You're so embarrassing. Can't you learn a thing or two from your younger brother? On how to be a proper young master from a good family. I looked up at Shin Fengyi. The disdain in his eyes was impossible to hide. It's only the second day I've been home. They don't even bother putting on an act anymore. Chances are they think they've already faked the medical records. Guilty people always think I'm no longer useful to them. I didn't care about the expressions of the people in the living room. I walked past Shin Fengyi and headed upstairs. The prerequisite for being a respected young master is that you actually are a young master first. I've never heard of an unwanted abandoned baby ever being qualified to be a young master. As for whether I'm bragging or not, the scores will be out in a week. We can judge then, can't we? For the next week, Liu Ruyan came to the Shu family's house almost every day. She and Shuyi kept tripping me up and mocking me. Shin Fengyi unsurprisingly took their side. But I'm Lin, I don't take crap from anyone. I don't just know how to fight. I'm also really good with words. They never got any advantage over me when arguing. Every time they ended up defeated and humiliated. But they act as free entertainment for my boring life, which is actually kind of fun, until the day the scores came out. Apart from Liu Ruyan, Shu Yi, and Shin Fengyi, even that idiot Shu didn't go to the company. Everyone was waiting to check the scores. As soon as it was time to check, that idiot Shu was about to check Shu Yi's score. Shu Yi's eyes flickered and he said, Dad, let's check Bro's score first. If Bro really got 700 points, it would make our whole family look good, right? His words sounded nice, but I didn't miss the look in Shu Yi's eyes, the faint flash of malice that crossed his face. I didn't bother talking to him. I lowered my head and skillfully entered on my phone my ID card number. The next second, I held up my phone to show everyone. The screen clearly showed Chinese 128, Math 150, English 141, Science 295, total 714. For a moment, everyone in the living room stared wide-eyed. I took back my phone with a fake regretful look, sighing. 714? Looks like my score estimating skills aren't that great. I thought I'd only get 700 points. Didn't expect I got so lucky on the exam. What's wrong? Why are you all quiet? Weren't you saying it'd make the family look good? Why do none of you look happy anymore? Shu Yi couldn't keep acting like the poor victim anymore. He shouted loudly. How is this possible? You must have faked this score. A country bumpkin who grew up away from home. How the hell could he get such a high score? When Shin Fengyi saw this, she quickly pulled her into her arms. It's okay, it's all okay. I.e., fake is fake. Don't get so worked up. Auntie's here for you. I went to ask around. That village he's from only has a primary school. They don't even have a middle school there. He never even went to school at all. There's no way he got such a high score. He's just a liar, don't you worry. After hearing Shin Fengyi's words, Zhu Deshasha snapped back to his senses. Auntie, it's fine. It's okay, even if your grades are bad. But we can't have liars in this family. You're our own nephew, mine and your aunt's. Even if you never went to school, we won't look down on you for that. Why would you make up a lie like this? Look how upset you made your little brother. Hurry up and apologize to him. Before Zhu Deshasha could finish speaking, his phone ringtone cut him off. Hello, what? Tsinghua University admissions office. That call hadn't even hung up yet, when Qin Fengyi's phone started ringing too. Whoa, Tsinghua admissions office. Oh, it's looking for Dad Lin. After hanging up the phone, the four people in the living room looked at each other. None of them could believe what just happened. I was the first to break the silence. Why's everyone so quiet? Didn't you say I never went to school? Are the Tsinghua and Peking University admissions offices also actors I hired? Didn't you just say I'm your biological child? Why aren't you happy for me at all right now? I never went to school in the county, that's true. But my uncle in the village was a big shot at Talankiao prison. Everyone locked up there is a top student from a first-class university. If I didn't study hard, Uncle would chase me all over the village with a stick. Thinking about that, I couldn't help but rub my forehead. If Uncle finds out I only scored 714 points, that stick will probably hit me right on the head any second. Shudashasha was the first to come to his senses this time. Happy? Of course we're happy. Your uncle never thought you'd be this promising. I turned to look at Shu Yi. Good little brother, I'm done checking my scores. Now it's your turn. Shu Yi glared at me angrily, then turned and ran out the door with red eyes. You. Liu Ruyan pointed at me. She stammered you for ages, but ended up saying nothing at all, and chased after Shu Yi out the door. I turned my head, and set my gaze on Shu Dashasha and his wife again. Qin Fengye stared at me. Without saying a single word, Shu Dashasha smiled awkwardly and patted Qin Fengye's shoulder, and led her upstairs. Zhu Yi, your aunt and I are going to the study to make calls. Such great news. We have to tell everyone about it. I smiled and spread my hands, gesturing for them to go ahead. Qin Fengyi's voice was gritted with anger. 10 minutes after they went upstairs, I deliberately lightened my steps and snuck over to the study door. You have to find a way to make this work. Such a good score. Such a good university. Ai has to go. How can this brat take that spot from him? Look for yourself. Ever since we brought him back, how much has our Ai suffered? Doesn't that hurt you to see? Shudashasha looked a bit troubled. But he's our biological nephew. If he was just some ordinary country hick, that'd be one thing. But look how smart he is. He's definitely going to be someone big in the future. Our Shu family. Qin Fengye cut him off with an angry yell. Before Shudashasha could finish speaking, he was interrupted by the sound of porcelain shattering everywhere. Stop pretending to be such a kind uncle. Have you forgotten who's been by our side? These past 18 years? What a load of crap blood relations are. Let me tell you. If anything happens to Ai, can you guarantee you won't regret it? And that thing we did? We have no idea when it'll come to light. Do you really have the heart to let Ai get taken away? There was a long silence in the study. After quite a while, I heard Shu Dashasha's voice. I get it. After listening, I smirked and went back to my room. There's a good show coming next. When I went downstairs the next day, there was no one else at home. Only Liu Ruyan was sitting on the living room sofa. The second she saw me, Liu Ruyan stood up abruptly. Shui, don't get too cocky. You think being good at studying makes you amazing? Sure. For country folks like you, good grades are... You think you're the best in the whole world, huh? So what if you get good grades? Get into a good college. Land a decent job, big deal. Even if you struggle your whole life, you'll only reach the starting line of families like ours. The only son the Shu family recognizes is Ai, and the only future in-law the Liu family accepts. For marriage is also A Yi and no one else. Shu Yi, you are absolutely nothing. I picked my ear impatiently. Stop. Did I never tell you? My name isn't Shu Yi. I'm Papa Lin. Liu Ruyan froze for a second. For a moment, she had no idea how to respond to such a ridiculous remark. I watched her awkward look with a smile. I put on a look of sudden realization. You came here to ramble on so much today. Don't tell me you think I wanna steal Shu Yi's arranged marriage partner, which is you, right? Ha, sorry to break it to you, you rich snob. You should go visit our village when you have time. Even the village belle is way prettier than you. In my eyes, you're not even worth a single hair on his head. If you've got time to yap at me here, you'd better go comfort your childhood sweetheart instead. But Liu Ruyan didn't believe a word I said. She raised her eyebrow confidently. Stop trying to save face here. You're not favored in the Shu family. If I ever took a fancy to you, and you married into the Liu family, that would be a real step up the social ladder for you. But too bad, you know. Do you know what everyone in our circle says? Even if you're the biological son of the Shu family, you grew up in that backwater village since you were little. You're just a country bumpkin with Zhu family blood, that's all. Even for the sake of the Liu family's reputation, I would never agree to marry you. You just... I raised my hand and cut her off mid-sentence. Stop right there, don't say another word. I'm scared I'll throw up. Liu Ruyan, listen to me. Not to mention the lousy Shu family. Even your precious Liu family is nothing to me at all. I didn't bother looking at Liu Ruyan's expression. I just took out my phone and called Dad. Dad, someone's bullying me. Can you send her off to East Africa? Dad didn't hesitate at all. His voice was as loud and energetic as always. Sure, I'll ask your second uncle to handle it. The next second, his voice turned soft. Lin, if you're not happy there, just come back to the village. Dad will make sure you never lack food or clothes your whole life. You can live as freely as you want. If you like big cities, that's fine too. Dad will arrange everything for you. Houses, cars, even listed companies are all ready for you. I got them all ready for you a long time ago. After hearing what I said on the phone, Liu Ruyan snickered out loud. Ha ha, listen to yourself. Do you hear how ridiculous you sound? Who do you think you are? You think you can scare me? Your dad? He's just a useless country hick. What can he possibly do for you? Give you 2 extra corn cobs after farming. If you know what's good for you, go apologize to Auntie right now. Or don't blame me for being rude to you. I didn't respond anymore. I just stared coldly at Liu Ruyan. After all, when a real wolf king faces a tiny yapping puppy, he won't bother listening to its barking. Oh wait, no. I'm just a little wolf king at most. Dad is the real wolf king. A useless country hick. I've known since I was little that Dad is no ordinary person. He stays in the countryside just because he likes the peaceful life away from all conflicts. It's not just Dad either. Everyone in the whole village is Dad's former subordinate or partner. When I was little, Dad left me with all the uncles in the village. Even though I was young back then, they never went easy on me when training me. That's why since I was 10 years old, I could beat anyone in the whole village in a fight. As I grew older, I realized Dad was far more powerful than I ever thought he was. It's no exaggeration to say that Dad used to be the underground king of Jingzhou. After he went legit later, the wealth and connections he had were more than enough to make all the prominent families in Jingzhou fear him deeply, until Dad picked me up. He didn't want me to get stuck in all the chaos, so he took his most trusted followers and little me to a quiet, remote village and lived a life cut off from the outside world. But Dad only stayed away from the center of the chaos. For small fries like the Zhu and Liu families, he doesn't even need to take action himself. Plenty of people would be willing to do it for him. While I was still confronting Liu Ruyan, Shu the dummy came home with Qin Fengyi and Shu Yi. The second they walked in, Qin Fengyi stepped forward with a big smile on her face. Ah Yi. Perfect, you're home. Your aunt has figured it out now. You were upset that your brother took your name, right? Your uncle and I have decided to change your name back. From now on, you will be Shu Yi. Don't stay mad at us over this little thing, okay? Shu Dasha also walked over with a kind look. See, your uncle and aunt still love you very much. Once your name is changed, we'll be a real family. Everything that belongs to you will be all yours again. I snorted coldly. How could I not know what they were up to? They just wanted to swap my name with Shu Yi's, so Shu Yi could take my spot to go to college, and make it easier for me to take the blame for Shu Yi later. I originally wanted to handle the Shu family's affairs on my own. I didn't want to bother my dad, but I just got off the phone with him. With such a powerful backer like my dad, it'd be stupid not to use that advantage. I just decided to drop the act. I crossed my arms over my chest and stared coldly at the people in front of me. We're all adults here. Let's cut the crap about being a loving, happy family. It makes me sick to my stomach. You tracked me down after 18 years, just to make me take the fall for Shu Yi, right? The stuff where Zhu Yi messed around and got a girl to abort his baby, and the illegal things Shu Yi committed. You just want me to take the blame for all that, don't you? Do you really think I know nothing? The smile froze on Shu Dasha's face. There was a faint, unnoticeable tremor in his voice. Who told you that nonsense? That's impossible. You're our own biological nephew. Save it, don't spout that crap in front of me. Do you really think I'm an idiot? Seeing that their plan was exposed, Qin Fengyi, who already hated me to the core, dropped her act too. Fine, Sui, you know the truth now. We won't hide it from you anymore. If you know what's good for you, you'll do as we say. We've tried our best to cover up Ah Yi's mess. You might not even get in trouble for it. We brought you back just as a precaution. We from the Shu family took you back. If you behave yourself, we'll make sure you never lack food or clothes for the rest of your life. Qin Fengyi stepped closer to me slowly. Her voice got more and more sinister. If you don't obey, even if you get into college, I swear I'll make sure you can't stay there even a day. Do you really think the Shu family can cover up everything? Do you think I don't have legs or a mouth? The person who can make me take the fall hasn't even been born yet. But I'm really curious. Is a loser like Shu Yi really worth all this trouble from you guys? Hearing what I said, Shu Yi, who had been quiet this whole time, couldn't hold it back anymore. He lunged at me aggressively, baring his teeth. I'll rip your mouth off. Who the hell do you think you are? You dirty lowlife from the countryside. You have nothing to compare with me. It's your honor to take the blame for me. Don't be ungrateful when I'm being nice to you. I'll fight you to death. Before Zhu Yi could finish speaking, right before his fist was about to hit my face, I grabbed his wrist with my backhand and slammed my fist hard into his face. That wasn't enough for me. I kicked him hard in the stomach, knocking him to the ground. Are you kidding? No one in the village could beat me. Who does he think he is? He can't touch me. I was still furious.